Book lovers, it's Jenny at Julia Baby Jen, and this is my February monthly recommendations. Okay, so this month's theme for monthly recommendations is OTP, or One True Pairing, which I'm really excited to do. Sorry this is a little bit late. I wanted to do it around Valentine's Day, but I was just too busy. Recommends is a Goodreads group started by Trina at Between Chapters and Kayla Rain. Basically, they have a monthly theme every month, and you can go ahead and use that to make a video, a blog post, whatever you want to do, whatever your social media is. So I will leave the link below for the Goodreads group and the link to both their channels if you'd like to check that out. It's a really fun project, really fun topics, and I'm really enjoying doing it. This will be my third one, and yeah. So today I'm going to talk about One True Pairings. Now, a little disclaimer on here, it's really hard to talk about this kind of stuff without giving away spoilers. Someone mentioned this to me not long ago, and I'm like, I never really thought about it. Obviously, when you're doing book reviews and wrap-ups, you think about that, but when you're doing tags and stuff like that, you don't always think about that. So just an FYI, it's really hard to avoid spoilers on some of these. I will try hard, but when you're talking about One True Pairings, you're going to be talking a little bit about the romance between these people, so that would give away some spoilers in these books. So just be aware of that. If you don't want to be spoiled, if you haven't read the book, when I hold it up, skip ahead, or maybe just avoid watching this video if you're that worried about it. So just a little disclaimer there. I will try hard not to, but I can't guarantee that I won't. Okay, so I'm going to start talking about, actually it's kind of a trilogy. Well, they're kind of companion books, I guess, not really a trilogy, but I just figured I couldn't pick between these which ones I like the best, so I decided to do all of them. And that is the Stephanie Perkins cute book romances. They don't really have, I don't think, a title, really, but we have Anna and the French Kiss. I love these covers. I finally got the whole set. Anna and the French Kiss, Lola and the Boy Next Door, and Isla and the Happily Ever After. Out of these three, it's really hard to pick, but this one follows, this is kind of the first one, and you can really read these independent of each other, although there are some crossover between the characters, so if you want to completely avoid spoilers, you want to read this one first. Anna and the French Kiss, and this follows Anna and her crush Etienne. She ends up at a boarding school in Paris to spend a year, and she falls in love with this boy Etienne, who has a girlfriend, and this is all about their cute romance that happens in Paris. And this is one of the cutest books ever, one of my favorite books ever. She's a huge movie buff. She goes to all these old cinemas in Paris and explores them, and that is so fun, and I just love this book. If you want to escape to Paris and it's just a light, fun read, this is definitely the book to read for that. And then we have Lola and the Boy Next Door, which follows Lola and Cricket. And these two are very quirky characters. So this is a very quirky book. This takes place in San Francisco, and it also kind of explores the city a little bit. So if you want a fun light book from San Francisco, this is a really great one to read. Basically, Cricket and his twin sister moved away for a time. They were neighbors, and his twin sister is a huge in figure skating. She's like actually competing and stuff, and she's a big deal. So they leave for a while she's on her circuit, but they come back when they're teenagers, and Lola still has this crush on Cricket even though she's mad at him, and it's just the cutest romance ever. Just adorable. And then we have Isla and the Happily Ever After. And this follows Isla and Josh. And this is back at the same school that we were at before for Anna and the French Kiss. So this also takes place in Paris. And Isla's had this crush on Josh forever, but she doesn't know what to do about it. And so that's how this book starts out. And it is, again, just cute, sweet love. I really like this one quite a bit, almost more than I liked Anna. I think this one was even better. So yeah, these are just great reads. And so for One True Pairings, I think all of these are great. So we have Anna and Etienne, Lola and Cricket, and Isla and Josh, and they are just, oh, so awesome. My next one is Cat and Hale in the High Society trilogy or series. I can't remember if there's 3 or 4 in this one, by Ali Carter, and I think there might be another one. She's working on another one, which this is one of my favorite YA series. It is kind of like, it's a heist story. All of them kind of involve some kind of criminal activity or heist. Cat is part of a family that's what they do for a living. They're criminals, and they and they steal stuff, and it starts the novel off with her trying to get rid of that lifestyle. She doesn't want anything to do with it anymore, but her father gets wrapped up and is framed for this huge theft of paintings stolen from this mob king, and the mob king is going to kill her father if she can't clear his name or reproduce these paintings. So she kind of goes back into the business to solve this crime. And Hale is this rich kid that she happened to meet by chance when she was stealing out of his home, his mansion. She didn't think anybody was there, and he was. And they were a lot younger then, and they became friends. And he's kind of her inside guy. He has all the transportation she needs and all the money that she needs, and so he helps her out with her mysteries and things. And I just love these stories. They are so much fun. And I just love Kat and Hale. They're great. Their romance is pretty slow burning because they're friends, and I just love that about them. They are so much fun. Next I have Kate and Finn in the Born Wicked series. I don't have the first book. I do have it, but I don't know where it is. I haven't been able to find it for a long time. But I have Starcursed and Sister's Fate. That's the second and third book in this trilogy. This is an amazing historical fiction / magic trilogy. It features witches, real witches, but it's kind of an alternate history, but it's similar to like our Quaker roots, or the Puritan roots where they were burning witches at the stake. It's very similar to that. This is a very patriarch society, and women are really oppressed in this. This is just an amazing series. So Kate's our main character, and she and her two sisters are actual witches, and they're trying to hide that from society. Finn is the boy she falls in love with, who's a bookshop seller's son. He's intelligent and wonderful and doesn't believe in the society at all, but you can't openly say that without getting persecuted and thrown into an asylum or something, or burned at the stake. So they have this kind of forbidden romance thing, and they are such a beautiful couple. It's very old-fashioned romance, and I love that. I mean, it really drives up the angst, I think, in my opinion. So yeah, Kate and Finn. And next I have Hector and Eliza from the Girl of Fire and Thorns trilogy, one of my favorite trilogies ever. I love this trilogy. So this is YA fantasy. And actually their romance, spoiler time, doesn't really start until the second book. In the first book, she actually is betrothed and married to this king, and they have kind of a start of a romance, and then she has this boy that she actually falls in love with, which is her first love, but he dies at the end of this book, and Hector is the guard of the king, and slowly they start to fall in love. And I love Hector and Eliza. They are one of the best couples ever. I just adore them so much. And they're definitely the one true pairing in this series for me, as they are for a lot of other people too. Not that I didn't love her first love in this, which was, I think, Alejandro. Or no, that's the king. Alejandro is the king. What's the name of the boy in this? Benito. Benito is her first love in this, and he dies very tragically. Rae Carson is not afraid to kill people off. She's a ruthless writer, but oh, I love this series so much. She's an amazing writer. Next, I have a couple of OTPs from the Mortal Instruments trilogy and Cassandra Clare's world. First, I have Simon and Isabella in this trilogy. I'm just holding up Simon's book, but really any books with them in them, and there's quite a few. Okay, first of all, Simon is my favorite character from the Mortal Instruments. I adore him so much, and I love Isabella too, and I think they are one of the best couples ever because they're so different, but they bring so much to the table, and they help each other out in so many ways. They have a very rocky relationship in a lot of ways, mostly because Simon has such a interesting story arc. There's so much that happens to poor Simon, but I love Simon. But I think they're just a great pair. So yeah, they are definitely one of my OTPs for this series, and one of my favorite couples ever in literature. And my last OTP is Magnus and Alec in this series, and all the books that they're in. There are quite a few. Actually, they have a wonderful story in this compilation of novellas that I just adored. So it's worth, I really think these compilation of novellas are worth reading. You'll get so much backstory on so many characters. But the Bane Chronicles is awesome. Magnus isn't in very many of these stories, but he is in a few. and I just love them as a couple. I think they are so wonderful. Again, very different, but they bring so much to each other, and I absolutely love that. So those are my OTP recommendations and my February monthly recommends. Leave me comments below what some of your favorite OTPs are. I hope everyone has a good day. I will talk to you later. Bye.